Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gaur Pramanande Hari Hari Bol Srila Prabhupada ki jai Guru Parampara ki jai गौरनिताय भगवान की जय राधा श्याम सुंदर की जय कृष्ण बलराम जी की जय निताय गौर प्रमानंदे हरि हरि बोल ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य येनाञ्जन शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनीति नामिने Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Deshatarine Panchakalpataruvesya Kripa Sindhupayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna, we like to welcome everyone. So we'll begin with our continuing where we left about the last part of the jivas. The jivas means the entity that's eternally stay alive. The word jiva means jayate, means they are always not taking birth and dying, but jyate jiva, they are always eternally alive. Death is not a part of the living entity, but we are facing because we focus on the material nature, duality world. When we focus on Krishna, eternal, our relationship is eternal, and we, the soul, is eternal, then we will see we are always existing eternally. So with that note, I'm going to refresh a little bit for a few minutes where we left other day. That everybody is looking how to get out of the material suffering, and not only get out of the material suffering, also becoming uninterrupted experience of happiness, become eligible. So we discussed that how Srila Prabhupada quote this verse so much. Nirudha Asya Onushayanam. This is in Bhagavatam 2.10.6. Atmana Saha Sakti Bihi. Mukti Hittannatha Rupam Sarupena Vyavasthiti. So that sloka has a two-part. One part is that merging of the living entity along with his conditional living tendency with a mystic lying down of the Mahavishnu is called winding up of the cosmic manifestation, this universe. Liberation is the permanent situation of the form of living entity after he gives up the changing or changeable gross and subtle material bodies. So after we drop two body, this physical body right now in this saffron cloth with the skin covering bones, muscle, the 7 things covers, constitute this physical body. That inside that physical body, there is also subtle body. Subtle body has a limitation. This physical body is limited by the world. Subtle body is limited by the heaven to hell. Vast means we traveled within heaven to hell. This body to that body, this body to that. So all because of this subtle body connection with this. And within that, the soul, eternal, who I am, I, existing. So I want everybody to remember this few key points, that this eternal existence is eternally there, eternal form is eternally there. Today, last week we discussed, we ended with that there is a two types of transformation we need. One is that winding out this material, get out of the material existence, and then there is a spiritual existence. Spiritual existence, this is where most of the philosophy or most of the religion do not even talk. They acknowledge there is something, but they do not. And this is where the key point, difference between Krishna consciousness and any other school of thought about the spiritual domain. That other world, they do not talk about the second transformation. We focus on the second transformation. First transformation is to get out of the physical body. You don't have to get out. This will drop anyway. This body will die. But the subtle body we are concerned. Subtle body is keeping us going round, merry-go-round and round. That has to stop. And only way you can stop by adopting bhakti, pure bhakti, devotional service. No other means can purify that. So when it comes to second transformation, we discussed last week that how many big religious society, that there are billions of people, they fall for this first transformation, but the second transformation, which is the real life for the soul, is never promoted. Only the Hare Krishna philosophy promote them. And we also discussed how 11 things you have eternally with you. You have a permanent relationship. And the base of that relationship, a particular form eternally is with you. You are that form with that relationship. You have a name, you have an age, you have a group, you have a beautiful, attractive beauty. That yourself more beautiful than any material object you can ever see. Srila Prabhupada proved this, a very funny story. There is a place in California where it's called Morning Star. And many devotees, stalwart, they join from there. Vishnu Jan Swami, Tamal Krishna Maharaj, our friend here, he's still alive. Joy Guru Hari Prabhu. Guru Hari Prabhu, he was a little sick, but he's better now. He also joined from there. And Prabhupada went there. It was a kind of a club for the man without any clothes. All the men are young and they all lived naked. And when Prabhupada went in the morning, it's called Morning Star, and Guru Hari Prabhu was peeling his potato. So Prabhupada asked him, they're all naked, all the young men, hundreds and thousands, they're all naked. Tamal Krishna Maharaj was there. I mean, he was not Tamal Krishna Maharaj at that time. He joined in that Morning Star men's club. So then Prabhupada said, what is your goal of life? He says, digging. Prabhupada said, what do you mean digging? What is digging means? Then they explained him that he always dig potato to eat. And this is his job for this mission in this men's club. They grow potato and they cook and eat. They have to survive. So he said goal of his life is digging. And then Prabhupada, in watching everything, and Prabhupada was so merciful, so compassionate, then he narrated. Prabhupada is so fully aware of the people's material conditioning that he brings Krishna consciousness that they could relate. So he said, why you are all naked? Do you know why? They thought he's going to judge. He said, no, because naked is very attractive. Why a man wants to see a woman's naked or naked woman wants to see man naked? Because it's very attractive. And then Prabhupada says that I have come to reveal to you that to see yourself, the real naked form, then you'll forget everything of this world. And then Prabhupada explained, as much they could understand, that you have to take the peel off, like to see the mango, you have to peel off his cover part. He said, I have come to teach you how to take off your karma layer, jnana layer, yoga layer, all these layers, you take it off, and then pure bhakti is there with you. You will see your beautiful naked form is the most attractive. And then you can imagine how God, beautiful one who created you, God, then you will be in love. So they so much affected, 17 of them that day joined with Prabhupada. The one visit Prabhupada, and later on more came from there. It was very successful. Tamal Krishna Maharaj came from there. He's one of our stalwart preacher. Vishnu Jan Swami also is the biggest singer. Prabhupada said, I come to hear his singing. Prabhupada loved him so much. They all come from that place, Morning Star, near San Francisco. So anyway, back to this. So this is a fact that most of the people, most of the religion or theology, they do not focus on after liberation what happens. And Hare Krishna people focus mostly after liberation what happened. Yes, up to liberation, there is a suffering and you have to go through this. After liberation is the most exciting thing. So we discussed that 11 things you have, and in order to get that 11 things, you have to finish the first transformation. 11 things will be revealed on the second transformation. You have to come to Bhava Bhakti. Bhava means which you have, eternal asset, the feeling love for the Lord. With that love, you will reciprocate. But there is a key point, that love you cannot revive on your own. You cannot force grace to appear by force, through your austerity, through your penance, through your charity, whatever capacity you want to do, you cannot force, nor you can replace it with something else. This is the only thing you're looking for. You're looking for your highest happiness is that when you come to Bhava Bhakti, to revive. That the key point here is not even your endeavor so much, but your endeavor focusing to draw the attention of great Vaishnavas, whose appeal Krishna will sanction. Without Krishna sanction, Bhav will never be arise in the heart. Sattam Vishuddham Vasudeva Sabditam Jad Hayate Puman Apabrita. Because that existence, Suddha Satta, the Lord is visible. Lord is visible. When you have Bhava Bhakti, you can see Krito Krishna Sakshat Krito Jugga. You are eligible to see the Lord face to face. You lose all the taste of this world at that moment. Instantly you lose. You will not find any attraction to anything. We are talking now as a dead matter. At that time you will see the dead matter. That you'll disconnect naturally. Of course, the affection for the conditioned soul will rise in your heart. 4 things happen when bhakti arises in the heart, when bhava arises in the heart. There are 8 symptoms, and there are 4 characteristics, quality manifest in your heart. Danya, daya, manada, amanina. And before that, we also discussed that you can see the symptom before you even revive the bhava, that you are liberated at least. And we discussed there are 8 symptoms of liberation, that you don't have a sinful nature. You don't feel depressed with this material body and material, because you can see this is temporary things. It's going to cause you this. You're focusing always how to execute the service of the Lord. And fear is not a question of fearing. I mean, death is not a cause of your fear. You see that you are eternal at that time. And you will not be lamenting next Visoka. You will not be lamenting for things you didn't get in life. And neither you will be hankering that you want to achieve. Krishna consciousness is not something to achieve. It's something to receive. We should think that way. Not achieve, but to receive. Apipasa. Apipasa means you are satisfied with whatever is there for your bodily maintenance, mind, and whatever facilities there for spiritual. But inner journey means you connect with the Supreme Lord. And you do not have any material desire, but you have a constant desire to please the Lord. And even you maybe have a job, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a high court judge, Prabhupada was a pharmacist, but still everything is connected for Krishna's pleasure. You see that. There is no separate desire. That's what it means. Material means separate desire. You can work in a factory to maintain your Krishna's family. That is not material, that is spiritual. Satta Sankalpa, and you always have a vow to please the Lord. So these are the 8 symptoms we discussed. And then we went with some question that aimlessly the living entities are wandering in the material world, and he meets a Rashik Vaishnava, then his real Harikatha listening began. At that time, he will transfer. You're not going to change anything. You will be still the same person, but your focus will change from the material to spiritual. You will connect everything. Srila Prabhupada says one time that you cannot offer something. You cannot offer something non-spiritual to Krishna because Krishna is spiritual. So then devotee could not figure it out. Then how are you going to serve Krishna? Prabhupada said, then you have to connect everything, that you belong to Krishna. This is called Bhuta Suddhi. You belong to Krishna, and you chant that mantra. Naham vipra na cha narapati na vivashya na sudra naham varni na cha grihapati na vanasto jyotirva kintu pradhan nikala paramananda purnamikabde gopi bharta pada kamalaya dasa dasa anudasa. That I am not a brahmachari, I am not a grihastha or a banaprastha or sannyas. I am not a Sudra or Vaishya or Kshatriya or Brahman. Means you don't identify this body connection with Krishna. You identify as a soul, who you truly are. You are inside the body. So you identify that I am your, not only spirit soul, I am an eternal servant of the servant of the servant of that Supreme Lord who is the protector of the gopis of Vrindavan. He is always eternally, beautifully existing with his wonderful, beautiful form and self-effulgence. He doesn't need anything from anyone or anything. He is self-complete. And he always in reciprocation with his devotee. So with that, when you do Bhuta Suddhi, and then you say, okay, this material world belongs to Maya. I'm going to offer material things because it belongs to Krishna. And because Maya also belongs to Krishna. So you connect this way, then it becomes spiritual. Then you can offer it to Krishna. And if you do not see that connection, if you cannot think of that connection, Krishna is not going to accept. So it is very important. We figure that we serve under Guru. Yes, we are assisting Guru, but we also have to receive the knowledge Guru is giving. He came to give us. He came to give us the understanding how we to serve Krishna. Naisham mati stavadurukramangri spishwati anartha upagamam jat artha. Mayesham padarajo vishekham nishkinchananam nabhinita jabat. And this is very nicely explained by Prahlad Maharaj, that how lotus feet of Guru Kram, who is glorified for his uncommon activities, destroys all anarthas. And today we are discussing this. I hope Gopal Radhe Prabhu, you have the chart of the anartha, you can put it up, if you can, that I send you.
The anarthas?
Yes, Prabhu.
Which one is that one?
This is a anartha's unwanted tendency. There is a 4 color.
Let me.
Sarubram,
You
Asatrishna.
sent me today?
No.
Okay, let me see. I'll check. I'll
Okay.
give me 2
I'm
minutes.
going to just speak about it while you are checking. So there are 4 types of anarthas. What is going to block us to get out? And if we do not focus, it will take long time. You know, you'll be chanting, you'll be passing by long time to reflect and see that why am I not getting the result? Because we need artha pravriti more than anartha nivriti. This is very important. That we need artha pravriti more than anartha nivriti. But we need to know about Krishna's pastimes. We need to know Krishna's qualities, his beauty, Benu Madhuri, Rupa Madhuri. Then we focus. At the same time, we have to check that anarthas are disappearing. And if anarthas are not disappearing, then there has to be some doctor intervention, means some pure devotee you should consult how to, somewhere something is not right. So the anarthas, the chart he's going to put it out. The anarthas generally are divided into 4 categories. One anarthas is called Swarup Brahm. I was drawing it from Rupa Goswami Pad's book, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Bhaktivinoda Thakur put also in Jaiva Dharma. In different book is there. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Bindu is there also. But this is we made ourselves. One devotee put together. I was giving a rough sketch. The anartha, unwanted tendency. What is it? First is Swarup Brahm. Swarup Brahm means misconception about self that we discussed a couple days, and hopefully everybody will remember. The second mistake, illusion about that who is God? What is God? First of all, what is God? And then is a person who is God. Bhagavatam did not say Krishna directly. Bhagavatam did say Krishna directly, but not in the beginning like this. He said Janma Adiyasya, Janma Adasya. Find out the source of everything. Just like Prabhupada told to Jayanta Prabhu. Jayanta Prabhu, he joined in Paris. He was a playboy type of, he had a lot of girlfriend. And when Prabhupada was introduced, Prabhupada says, oh, that's very nice. You tell all your girl friend that you will introduce a boy who will never cheat, because you will cheat them. Every man will cheat the girls. So, but that boy, Krishna, will never cheat. So next day, Prabhupada met him again, said, did you ask? He thought he was joking yesterday. Then he saw Prabhupada's eye. Prabhupada was serious. Prabhupada said, if you don't introduce them to Krishna, you are actually cheating them. You want to take advantage because they are looking for Krishna type of boyfriend, not you. Then he was very overwhelmed by Prabhupada's approach. And then he told Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, I'm not so much about God. Prabhupada said, do you like anything? And he said, yes, I like girls and I like flower. So Prabhupada said, find the source of what in the girl you like and where is the source of your attraction to the flower. Is the color, the flavor, fragrance. Where is the source it's coming from? If you can find the source, you will become a devotee. And today he is a devotee. He's still a sannyasi. Prabhupada, he joined. Prabhupada gave him initiation. Very nice. So Prabhupada was very practical. Prabhupada is saying that whatever inclination you have, attraction you have, find the source where it has unlimited of that attraction that you are attracted by. Search for that. Krishna even said in Bhagavatam, Parakshabhadam. He did not say direct. He said, find out indirect. Even the gopis, they talk. What is the value of the eyes? to see good things. Have you seen any good things, any beautiful things that you cannot live without? And if you search out, you can say beautiful garden, but how long are you going to watch? 24 hours, 24 days, 6 months, whole life? No, you cannot show any object that is so attracted that you cannot stop looking. There is no such thing. But the gopis, they're saying, we looked at Krishna for 4,320,000,000 years. We still want to look at more. We don't want to stop. Every moment Krishna's beauty is increasing. Every moment Krishna's eyes becoming different, beautiful big eyes. Every moment is changing, so attraction. Each part of Krishna's body, eyebrow, the cheek, the lips, the nose, every part of Krishna is so attractive, so enchanting, so endearing that you cannot stop looking at. Purushottama. So the gopis in 1st chapter in Bhagavatam 10th canto, he says, Akshanatam phalamidam. Aksha means eyes. What is the value of the eye? They're talking about Krishna, but indirectly. So this is very interesting. That's how Krishna also likes when you come to him with that indirect approach. So Bhagavatam says, Beddam Bastavam Atra Bostu. They're talking about Krishna, but they talk about Bostu. Krishna is a Bostu. Bostu means substance. First you find out that God is a substance. Then you see who fits in that. He is the Supreme. But he's a Basta Bostu. What kind of Basta Bostu? Beddam Bastavam. Beddam means you should know, approach. Basta Bostu, not hallucination. It's a real substance. Shivadam. You feel very happy. The moment you look at that Bostu or think about or you discuss, you feel happy. Shivadam. Tapa Tayana Unmilanam. All this misery of threefold misery disappears. This is called Basta Bostu. Beddam Bastavam Atra Bostu. Shivadam Tapa Trayana Unmilanam. Cutting the lawn, the grass will grow again. No. In this case, is a tapa unmalanam, uproot, not trimming. The whole karmi world, they're trimming. They are feeling by urges, they try to satisfy their urges. But they're never going to satisfy. It will grow again. You ate today, tomorrow you will be hungry. You had intimacy today, tomorrow you will be again for it. There's always thriving. It never satiated completely. You feel little satisfied, okay, you go on. This is Maya's tricks. And you never completely satisfied. But Krishna is one substance, one bostu, that you will never be completely, ever get out of it. And more you dive into Krishna, more you want it. That's why it's called Beddam Bastavam Atra Bostu, Shivadam Trapatrayana Unmalanam. And where is the proof? And how do you get it? Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit. It is the evidence how to get Krishna. So for our own interest, we should. So here it says the Swarup Brahm. So there is again, back to this, everybody should remember that. There's 4 types of anarthas. First anarthas is Swarup Brahm. Swarup Brahm means illusion about self. I don't know who I am, truly. And I don't know who God is. We have some idea. Even we have some literally some idea. Then we have a misconception about Maya. We don't know exactly what Maya is. We have some idea. Even Mayavadi talks more Maya about than anybody else. And they see everything is illusion. But to see everything is illusion in illusion. They have to be in illusion to see everything is in illusion. So that's why they are called Mayavadi. So then there is a misconception about goal of life and how to achieve it. These 4 together is called Swarup Brahm. Then Asat Trishna means desiring for material indulgence. Even the silliest thing, like Sandy used to tell me, uh, that without coffee, she cannot get up, she cannot start her day. It's a little insignificant coffee, but really she is like this. So we have like a unnecessary little things dwells and makes our life very miserable. It is very difficult to live. So desire for material indulgence, then desire for sense gratification from heavenly object. We also want, just like one devotee told me, I don't mind of going to the margin place, but I want to check it out, the heaven. I like to have the beautiful somo juice and the nightclub, because nightclub in the material world, this is not giving ultimate happiness. But in heaven, nightclub is very enjoyable. Nightclub is such enjoyable that you cannot imagine. Today is not the discussion time, but nightclub in heaven, it's a million times more attractive than nightclub in Gainesville or anywhere in the world. Everything is a replica here. Krishna, what's his name? Indra. Indra has a nightclub, beautiful nightclub. And there is no boy. He's the only boy. And anybody walks in there has to come as a girl. So even one day, sun god, his chariot driver, Oruni, that's how he explains that he wanted to check it out because the sun was not rising that day. He got a little off time, vacation time or something. So he said, I heard about this nightclub, I want to go. So when he went, he has to literally change the body, take the body of a girl. And Indra fell in love. And guess what? As a child is born, and that child doesn't belong to the heaven, what to do? They brought it here. Do you know who is that? Bali. That's the Bali's origin. So many references there. Krishna's Indra's nightclub. How Krishna gave everything we want, but until we come to sadhu sangha, we don't develop this desire that our ultimate happiness is not in this world, heavenly nature or anything. It is in the spiritual world. So the third one is aparad, which we discuss, or maybe we can discuss another time, and everybody is aware of these 10 offenses. And there are 6 dangerous offenses against the Vaishnavas. The Vaishnava offenses are most deadly. This is a one thing you can do in life. Do not ever think anything wrong with the Vaishnavas. Just respect them. You will be surprised that even if they fell down, or even if they do something abominable, still they are considered sadhu. This is a one thing we have to be very, very careful, that never ever criticize or hear any Vaishnava aparad. Never, literally never. Otherwise you will be in dangerous zone that you can never get out of it. And Gopal Radhe Prabhu, do you have the one you that made that?
Yes, bro. I couldn't find the Anarthas one where you sent that, but I can. You want me to post the knowledge one, the five types?
No, the origin, the one you made it, Prabhu, about the Chaya Namabhas and Mayavadi
Oh,
Namabhas.
okay. Yes.
Just for a 1 minute to just give you some glimpse about it. I was fascinated of reading Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Harinam Chintamani, and just to give you like how any devotee ever came to Krishna consciousness, if they can stick to the Krishna consciousness, they are rare soul. Very good. And if you go back sometime back, you will see those anarthas. I think I sent it to you. I'll see. So in this example, you saw this last week. I'm just going to give you a little synopsis that how important it is that anybody comes to Krishna consciousness, even for 1 day, if they stay with the devotees, they are still in the right track. They begin their life. It's nothing lost. They will be going back home, back to Godhead someday. So some or other, if we can introduce this Krishna consciousness to every soul in this world through book, through any form or shape. So here Bhaktivinoda Thakur was in the Harinam Chintamani, I was reading, it was very fascinating that the question discussion took place also in Hari Bhakti Vilas. Namabhas means a glimpse of the light of the holy name before its full light is perfectly visible. So question raised, by chanting Namabhas with all our previous life, sinful reaction, everything offensive, the nature, all these things will literally go away? Will it go away? That's the question. And the answer, say yes, but not from my side. See the girl is as a sadhaka in the picture. Everybody see that? It's called Chaya Namabhas. Yes, you can look at on your and download this. See this one? And the other side, impersonalist, they will not get it. They will be deprived. But Chaya Namabhas is so powerful that a semblance of pure name obscured by ignorance and anartha. The girl, that sadhaka girl, she may have a ignorance, she may have an anartha, but she has taken guru initiation. She's chanting, she's following sadhana. Like the sun covered by clouds for her. She cannot see the spiritual happiness fully at that time, which doesn't manifest its full brilliance. But Pratibimba Namabhas, the other side, are not the same. All sin will not go away. The reaction of the sin and offense will not go away for the Mayavadis. This is such a big difference between the devotee and the Mayavadi conception. You have the iPhone? Look at it. I'll send you that, or Gopal Radhe Prabhu can send you.
Yeah, I have that other one also, Prabhu. You want me to send the Anarthas?
I have just few question answer on this Chaya Namabhas, because I made it, I was writing down. So it's very nice just to refresh that how important that those who have come, even for few days, they are chanting. We have to be very careful. They are on the track. So then question came, when the hippies joined Prabhupada's movement, this question also raised, they were ignorant, innocent. Can this be chanting called Namabhas, Chaya Namabhas? Chaya Namabhas means you are properly situated. Even though you don't experience spiritual happiness at this moment, but you are properly situated. So will that be called Chaya Namabhas? Prabhupada's time, all these hippies came. Answer is yes. Then question raised, will all sinful activities go away by that chanting, Namabhas chanting? Answer is yes. But when will they go away? At once or gradually or few lives? Then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur answered very nicely. He said that's just like a chickpeas. Chickpeas, when you burn it, you put it in a fire, not fire, on the stove, oven, and you fry it. I remember in India, we used to eat the chickpea watching a movie in a Kormi world. And once they are roasted, can you throw them in the field and grow a plant? No. So when we chant even Chaya Namabhas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives the hints. And Hari Bhakti Vilas also making this, that even Chaya Namabhas, but our sinful things are roasted now. It will never produce new karma. You will be experiencing this life, maybe misery, but end of life, you are not going to fructify new karma, no more, period. Another example given by another Acharya, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also emphasized that in India, the Panwala, they have a braided rope for smoking. They light little bit and leave it there, And if you go end of the day, I remember I seen this in the village. You see that the rope is burned, completely finished, but braided mark is still there. Looks like the whole rope is still there. but you cannot bind with that rope to anything. You follow? So the logic Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, the power of Chayanamabhas. I'm just trying to encourage all the devotees, those who are chanting, those who've taken the path, even if you don't experience anything, keep on going, Prabhu. Nothing lost. You will be so fortunate if you can just keep on going. So then question comes, with the first Namabhas, this everything will go away? Or the second Namabhas, third Namabhas, like many Namabhas? With the first, by gradually doing so, all the sins, prarabdha, aprarabdha, kuta, means seed form, aprarabdha means not yet fructified. Some are impressions, so fine print, only astrologer even cannot see. Sometimes astrologers see the sign in your hand. They say so many things you cannot see because they see the sign and they know it is there. So like this, they're fine print in your life. 30 years from now will fructify. You cannot see it now or next life. Those things are all destroyed. That's so nice. Means no more birth. No more birth. He then, great example, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, also Prabhupada gave, is the Ajamil. Now in Ajamil case, he never realized that until he saw that his death has been stopped. What was he doing? He was chanting Namabhas. He was not chanting pure name. Those who are Chaya Namabhas, they are not chanting Namabhas with intention. They are trying to chant pure name, but it may appear like Namabhas. There's a vast difference. Ajamil, he was not trying to chant pure name. He was not trying anything. He was just calling his son. But even that is called Namabhas. Namabhas doesn't mean when your intention is pure chanting. That may produce, but it is different because your intention is pure name. So it will bring you there. Ultimately, it will bring you there. So hearing very minutely, you can say from them, the glorious chanting of the holy name from Vishnu Dutta and Jamaduta's conversation, the Ajamil was hearing. He felt so much thrilled and so happy that he discarded everything. And after the Jamadutta and Vishnu Dutta disappeared, he left everything. He went to Hardwar and he performed serious purification, lamenting, repenting. This is in Bhagavatam given. And at that time, it was in Satyajuga, and it may take some time in Satyajuga, but nonetheless, end of his life that time, from Vaikuntha again, the Vishnu Dutta came and took him. So there is a famous verse is given. Madhuram, Madhuram etan mangalam mangalanam sakala nigama balli satphalam chit sarupam sakridapi parigitam sraddaya helayava brigubara naramatram arayat Krishna nama. The Krishna nama is sweetest of the sweet, the most auspicious of all that auspicious. It is flourishing, Kripa, the eternal, fully ripened fruit of the Bhagavat. And the embodiment of knowledge, Chit Shakti. O best of Bhrigu dynasty, even if someone chants the holy name only once with faith, indifferent, hela, negligence, he is immediately delivered from this ocean of birth and death. This is from Hari Bhakti Vilas. So even once is enough to get out of all the sin and unwanted things that you created in this journey that we had. And the sloka that I was explaining, Dharma Prajita Kaita Batra Paramani Mat Sarnam Sadam, that when the devotee join and they want to become pure devotee and serve Krishna, in that case, they are connected. All things will be kicked out slowly, slowly. Question rises in the mind. When? When? Immediately. What is the meaning here? Immediately. What does that mean? One may have a full anarthas, But now he has begun to hear Hari Katha in Srimad Bhagavatam. In order, I'm going to give you one example that in London, there was a homeless guy. He was passing by. The temple, and he's a homeless guy, and he has a time. So then he came, and then he sat down, and he has no idea. He's listening about Mother Joshoda's beautiful pastimes with Krishna. After listening Mother Joshoda's beautiful pastime with Krishna, he immediately thought, I want to join there. I want to be with the God whose mother loves him so much. He expressed like this. And I was told Gaur Govinda Maharaj was there, and Maharaj says, now a devotee may be staying in the temple. This guy is homeless, but he is already entering into spiritual domain. But if you commit offense, you will be stepped outside the house. See how deadly offense. And this guy is innocent, has no idea, but he has a greed. You want to enter into that realm. Immediately you will be given. He's instantly literally liberated in that sense. You can come here and see. Places. Come and have a seat. It's okay, you can sit too. So then question is, you can have a seat. So when will that be happening? It said, as soon the anartha disappears. But anartha disappears when? It depends on you. How favorable you are adjusting your attitude. Prabhupada says there are 6 visions to Shyam Sundar Prabhu in Bombay. He said there was a complaint by the business people. They say, what these guys are doing on the street selling books, singing is like they don't have money or what? Why? What they are looking for little money? But no, they're not looking for money. They come from a very rich family. They don't need money. They join to distribute these books, Mahaprabhu's mission, helping Prabhupada with that. So they spoke to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada said there are 6 types of vision in this world. Devotee should take 3, and the other 3 is for karmis. It's not good. The first vision is bad. First thing is that they always see something wrong in this world. Something wrong with some people. Always. It's like a nature they have, like it is such a horrible. Then there's another group that they see there's a good and bad, but they choose bad one. They see good and bad quality with one person, but they always focus on the bad one, bad quality, not good quality. Prabhupada said that's not also good. And then they above them, there's a group of people in this world. Prabhupada observed in this world that there is a not only good and bad. They not only glorify, focus on the bad, but they do not ever want to see anything else. And they're always going to magnify that more, and they have never spoken anything. And a good example is Duryodhana. Duryodhana is not only in Mahabharata, Duryodhana is also here in this world. Duryodhana is just one character in Mahabharata. So then above them, there is a 3 quality. I'm just paraphrasing. One is, these are Prabhupada said the devotee should adopt this. That there is a good and bad quality you will see in every person. You will see there is a good and bad in me. But those who are devotee, they will focus on the good one, not the bad one. Just the opposite with the karmis. Then above them, there is they see more of a, because they're focusing on the good, they're seeing almost like every devotee is only saturated with the good. But above them is a very unique person, the best devotee. They see that devotional quality in each soul that coming. Each soul that coming. And they fan that quality. It's Prabhupada explained, it's just like that quality is like a little flame. Now if you put too much air, it will extinguish. And if you don't put a little air, it will not grow. So you have to it's like a little art. Learn how to fan this flame that slowly it's growing. And then more dry grass, more dry wood, and it's growing. When they grow so big, if the big storm come, what happened? It become bigger. But in the beginning, it is so small flame. If you like not careful, it can finish. You're going to temple. The temple authority did something wrong. I don't feel like to go to temple anymore. Just a little. Or somebody says, you're no good. We come to temple to hear this. I'm never going to come to temple anymore. Because they're like a little flame, little good quality. They came to temple, but nobody flamed, air them to grow slowly that flame. But they hear little bit unfavorable, something like a wind, strong wind, they're finished. Their faith is gone. It's very fickle, very scary. And one good example, and then we're going to do a little chanting. One good example is Parashar. He was such a great Acharya, Ramanuja Acharya's appointed next generation, his successor. So Parashar, he had a lot of problem with his god brothers. It's just like a modern, sometimes competition. That they don't like, they're like opposition sometimes. And there's a lot of horror stories sometimes. You won't read. Really in Vaishnava society? Yes, it is. It is, as we are in the material world. So one time, one of those person, it's like criticizing him so much. So he went to temple in front of the Ranganathji. And in front of Ranganathji. And that devotee is like blaspheming. You think you're a big tough guy, now you're good. Going. And he has his own follower also. So now he's looking at the deity and he's saying, now you have to give me mercy. You see what they're saying is true. I have all this bad quality. And then he turned back and he told the devotee that you are my guru. He said, what are you talking about? He said, you are solving all my problems. He said, I'm criticizing you. What are you talking about? He said, because I'm telling the deity, I'm telling the Lord that I have a problem in my heart. And Lord is not purifying me because I am alone. Prayers is not enough. Now you're boldly, loudly you're speaking about all those things, magnifying my anarthas, and Lord is forced to hear. See how little dirty things it turned into most favorable. And at the end, it was a wonderful. The Lord was so merciful, and this opposite party became so favorable that he fell at the feet of Parashar. He said, I cannot believe that somebody can be that high level. That even the dirtiest, among the dirtiest person, you see the little flame that you can offer it to the Lord. So in that sense, we should never ever say anything bad about any devotee or anybody ever come to temple, always encourage them. Because their faith is very weak. Komal Shraddha it's called. Flickering, any moment it can be finished. They come to temple, then the announcement, we need some money. I came here to relief, now they need money also. Just like, they feel little shaking, but try to encourage them. That's all we can do. That's the best thing we can do. So we'll chant for 10 minutes, it's 6 o'clock. But Gopal Radha Prabhu, you're going to have somebody read that Prabhupada's quote?
Yes, Prabhu, just give me a minute.
While you're doing this, I'm going to tell a little story. It's a very sweet story. Mother, what's her name? She used to come to our class. Mother Prabhupada's disciple. She was an artist. She was a movie actress. She used to come to my classes, our classes, for many years. She passed away. Oh my God, I can see her face. She used to come to Mother Melba's class. Every Thursday we used to have a class there. Oh, today's Thursday also. She used to come there. Oh my God. Anyway, she told me a story about one great devotee that he comes from a chicken farm, poultry farm. So he came in, he joined, and Prabhupada gave him initiation, and then he disappeared. But while he stayed, he learned how to make samosa. You know samosa? Yeah, of course you know, from India. So Prabhupada loved his samosa. His samosa was different than Indian samosa. He used to make it like a big football type of, big. And he used to put inside very nice, some or other, he knew the art of making samosa so nice. So, and Prabhupada liked it. So anyway, and after a little while, he disappeared. Then all of a sudden, in a morning walk, Prabhupada said, "Oh, you are back. I'm so happy." And then one sannyasi, I won't say the name, he's also nice senior devotee, but he was saying, Prabhupada, he went back to the poultry farm and he ate chicken and all these things. Prabhupada said, that's all right, he's trying. See how compassionate. Prabhupada is never going to extinguish the flame of love. Instead, Prabhupada said, when did you come? He said, last night. He said, good, make some samosa for me. And those devotees says, Prabhupada, because he ate the chicken before he came. He's like a, Prabhupada said him, he does good service, he cooked for the deity. Krishna is willing to take. It all belongs to him. Prabhupada was very kind. So next day he made a samosa, big samosa. So they brought 2 samosa for Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, that's all he made? He said, no, he made 6 of them. Said, let me see all. So they brought all. He said, leave it here, it's okay. So then after a while, the one sannyasi downstairs, he said, so is there a remnants of Prabhupada? So we don't know. They went up, Prabhupada ate all of them. Prabhupada was so merciful to that devotee. And when the devotee heard it, he started crying and crying. Yes, he ate chicken after that. Even they do horrible things, sinful sometimes. Do not judge. Because a way to develop the view Prabhupada had, that how compassionate he was. He never rejected whoever wanted to come to serve. Ultimately, they all belongs to Krishna. So we have to see from that way. Okay, Gopal Radhe Prabhu, sorry. Somebody would like to read? Or Gopal Radhe Prabhu, you can read.
Charge
42%.
Somebody is reading?
Hare Krishna, can I read, Prabhu?
Yes, who is this?
Mathura Chandrika Devidasi.
Ah, Hari Mata. Yes, go ahead, please.
Prabhu, Dandavat. Instead of contemplating what will happen to this world, you have got a short duration of life, say 50, 60 years. You chant Hare Krishna and go back to home, back to Godhead. Don't consider what will happen to this world. Nature will take care of it. You don't puzzle your brain with these thoughts. You utilize whatever time you have got in your possession and go back to home, back to Godhead. You cannot check it. Best thing is that you mold your life and go back to home, back to Godhead. Because people will go on with their rascal civilization, natural consequences will be there. You better take advantage of whatever time you have got and become fully Krishna consciousness and go back to home. Srila Prabhupada Morning Walk, February 21st, 1975, Caracas.
Caracas. Very nice. So we'll chant for 10 minutes. First we chant with Prabhupada's Pranam Mantra. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Simate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Deshatarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gauru Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Shani Hare Ram, Ram 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 Hare Krishna, Shani Hare Ram, Ram 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 Hare Krishna, Shani Hare Ram, Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Shani Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Shani Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare 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 Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Shani Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Shani Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Shani Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Sri Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram. You have 1 minute. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna, Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Welcome back. This is a beautiful thing that Mother Chandrika Devidasi read, that Srila Prabhupada commented. It's very nice. We should not worry too much about anything in this world. We should just focus going back home, back to Godhead by chanting and taking as many people with you. So, question raised, when we talk about liberation in the beginning, the liberated devotees, has to be like renounced order? Generally in our society, all over the world, when you see a sannyasi, you think he is liberated. When you see a grihastha in the house, you don't even care. So question came that one has to be renounced, or in order to be liberated from Maya. So the answer Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave, Prabhupada gave also similar, same. And Prabhupada said that pure devotee is a Vaishnava. Whether he is a grihastha, householder, or a sannyasi, it does not matter. Whether he is a brahmana or is even if he was a dog eater, even dog eater. Whether he is a rich or poor, as long he has a devotion to Krishna to the degree that he is a holding purified consciousness and he is fully dedicated to serve Krishna, whatever background he's from, whether or even currently maintaining, whether is a poor or brahmana or a rich or a Sudra birth, like Haridas Thakur was born in a non-Vedic culture, Muslim. It doesn't matter, whatever. Suddha Bhakta is Suddha Bhakta. It goes by his internal attitude and external endeavor, both. Then question come, at what stage one become liberated from Maya? One is liberated from Maya from the very beginning of his devotional service. Chaya Bhakti Abhas. Chaya Bhakti Abhas, when you take the path, initiation in your chanting, even you may not have complete purification, but still you are already out of Maya. What does that mean? Means Krishna is taking over your life. You are under Guru. Serving means it is under internal potency. This is very interesting. This is very important. That even Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Prabhupada gives a one place, Madhya Lila chapter 8, 139. If you look at in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says that even liberated stage called Brahmavutta stage, two types, two division. One is Swarupgata Mukti, one is Bostugata Mukti. Swarupgata Mukti means one who has understood Krishna in truth, but still maintaining some material connection, is known to be situated in his Swarup. Like he has a still desire for sense enjoyment, making money, family life, this, that, very attached to that. But he has taken also Krishna consciousness side by side. He's going, he has taken that Krishna consciousness under Guru's guidance, is growing. But he's still enjoying the material senses also, looks like. So he is considered Swarupgata. He's not Bostugata yet. Swarupgata means this is his original consciousness. That means Tatastha Jiva has this sense gratification idea. But Prabhupada writes, one who lives in such consciousness is actually living, when the original consciousness is completely spiritual, is called Krishna consciousness. So even original consciousness has to be Krishnaized. That means original consciousness was not Krishnaized. Very interesting, isn't it? Madhya Lila chapter 8, 139, you look at it. And Prabhupada writes, when by the grace of Krishna, one does advance, he becomes completely contaminated by the material body and mind. At that time, factually lives in Vrindavan. Wow. That stage is called Bostugata Mukti. Now, how many types of muktis are there? We're not talking about the 5 types of mukti. Here is considered that 2 kinds of jiva, living entities, are free from Maya. One is Nitya Mukta and one is Baddha Mukta. Nitya Mukta means those who never came under Maya's control. They don't even know what Maya is. They hear it, but they have no experience on that. And Baddha Mukta means once they have come under Maya's control, like myself, like this, us. But now, by the process of Krishna consciousness, by the mercy of Prabhupada, we are actually literally free. We may not see it, but still we are free, because anybody, anytime took initiation, they are under internal potency now. And that living entity who are coming from Maya's world, going to spiritual world are two types. One is who's choosing Lord's opulence, majestic aspect. And the other one is those who are attracted by the feature of sweetness. Those living entities that's attracted by Krishna's opulence, majestics, are personal associate of the Lord Narayan in Vaikuntha. Ayodhya is 50-50. Opulence is there, also very personal. Sweetness is also there. And more growing in Dwarka, more in Mathura 75-25. In Vrindavan 100% sweetness. Vrindavan has more opulence than Vaikuntha, but nobody see it. Even the dust of Vrindavan has more opulence than Vaikuntha. But it is saturated with the personal relationship with the Lord in a sweet way. Now the question comes, the living entity that going from here, they have those two types of liberation they get? No, they are three types. These two types that attracted by the opulence aspect of God, and another one is sweet aspect of God. As I discussed before, the God is both great and sweet. God is both great and sweet. When we explain or focus on his greatness, majestic aspect, opulence, it evokes our submission to surrender. God will protect us. We can become fearless. Wow. But if there is a thunder, lightning, Krishna runs from his room, Nanda Baba's door. Baba, Baba, I'm scared. So that concept of God is not a submission. You know, I am afraid. I'm not going to focus on Krishna, who is also afraid. Because the sweetness concept, you follow. But when I'm afraid of this material world, COVID-19, death, whatever, disease, all this, then we need to hear about the opulent aspect of God, majestic aspect. No power is equal. What is the sloka in Bhagavad Gita? Atta parataranannat pinchidasti dhananjaya. Maya sarvamidam putam sutri monigana iva. You should memorize that verse. The matta paratara, nothing is equal or above. I am the source of everything. Hami sarvajigyanam bhokta cha prabhurevacha. I am the only enjoyer. Nobody else, no second. Even Balaram is not an enjoyer. Even Balaram, Lord Ram is not an enjoyer. They are all servant of Krishna. Krishna claimed, Aham is sarvajigyanam. Aham. He didn't say two or three. Aham, one. I. Bhokta cha prabhurevacha. If you say, if I don't understand that, you will fall down. If you cannot understand that. He's the only enjoyer. Krishna is the only enjoyer. So that majestic aspect, it evokes our submission. So it's good. Then when we hear the sweet pastimes, just like we're going to discuss probably tomorrow, if we cannot get it today, that sweet aspect, then we can see it evokes our affection for God. When you hear how Krishna is such a lovable boy that a newcomer arrived in Vrindavan and she's thinking, everybody's fascinated about Krishna. Who is this boy? She's a new girl. And her mother-in-law says, don't ever try to see him. Your life will be ruined. Because anybody look for Krishna, they are crazy for him. You cannot function like a normal family life. Now her curiosity increased even more. She said, I want to see it. I said, no, you don't understand. It's a serious disease. So one day she's like a young girl, got married, but she's not peaceful easily when she hears such things. Then she noticed that mother-in-law, sister-in-law, daughter, everybody is going except her. So she told the mother-in-law, why they are going? I cannot go. Said, no, 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 it is dangerous. So she sneakily went out in the forest and want to see how is Nanda Maharaja's son coming back from the pasturing field. And Krishna, knowing in the heart of every living entity, he twisted a calf tail. And calf ran and ran and jumped in the bush where that girl was. Where did this calf come from? And the calf is like going like this. This is Krishna's messenger. In Vrindavan is like this. This is a sweet. It's like nobody understands how things are happening. But Krishna reciprocate with everybody. She fell in love with the calf. Now when you fell in love with the representative of Krishna, what happened? Krishna is, all of a sudden she noticed that that boy Krishna is right in front. He said, oh, I came to collect the calf. And he lifted up her chin to look at his face. And when she looked at Krishna's face is such a beautiful, you cannot imagine. How many beautiful girl or boy you saw in this world that you fainted? How many? You did one? 0. This is not a good number. But Krishna is such a boy, such an attractive boy. The moment you see, faint. That girl fainted. And the history is later. I'll tell you the rest of it. That she cannot bring back to this world. Krishna's beauty is so, it's like a capture your heart in a degree that you forget everything else. There's nothing as beautiful as this. But question raised that why there is a 3 kinds of liberated soul. One is called Aishwarya Gata, Madhurya Gata, Brahma Jyoti Gata. Why Brahma Jyoti Gata? Because they are attracted to Bhagavan as impersonal effulgence. Why they are attracted to that? That's the question. Because they maintain an offensive attitude. This is a very key point. Because of maintaining the offensive attitude, they never adore the lotus feet. Je anne aravindaksha vimukta manina stai hasta bhavat avishuddha buddhaya arujya krichena param patam patanti adha anadrita jusmat angrahya. Angrahya, they never adore the lotus feet of the Lord. So long we have an offensive nature, we are not attracted to Krishna's feature, body. You follow? If you feel like, how come I cannot meditate how Krishna looks like? Because offensive nature is there. Oh, how you got a, but I don't want to commit offense. Yeah, that's a good idea. But you have, you already have a disease. Not to have a disease is a good idea, but once you have a disease, you have a disease. Try to purify. How do you purify? Prabhupada gave a nice idea in Nectar of Devotion. I believe it's 10th chapter. Prabhupada says in a purport, very nice, or maybe 34th chapter. Prabhupada said that when somebody cries for Krishna, he regrets. When he regrets, my Lord, I'm not seeing you. I'm hearing that you are the only object, but I'm not feeling attraction. Can you make me, please? How horrible my nature that I don't have attraction. And you cry, you repent. One devotee, day before yesterday, from the car was talking to me. And the devotee had a tears. I was like a surprise. That cannot do devotional service, was feeling some kind of, that's very upliftment, very advanced. According to Prabhupada says that those tears, it's very interesting, those tears becomes the extinguisher of material misery. You follow? That means we have to learn how to cry for Krishna. And if you don't feel, then you cry that you cannot cry. Because Govinda Maharaj said we have to open a school to teach how to cry for God. This is natural. When you feel the value of a person's presence in the absence, if you didn't miss him, what kind of value was there? Huh? Even in the funeral of Pandavas, when Pandavas did not die, it was like a fake funeral. And they said, lake house burned and Pandava died, there was a fight. But Pandava didn't die. I'm laughing because it's not a true story. But it's funny that Krishna and Balaram went to the funeral. They know they are God. They know they are not dead. But Krishna and Balaram expressing their feeling. I was also thinking many years back, why God is doing faking death, funeral ceremony. But when you read the commentary, it's so wonderful. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, one who cares, one who has a feeling for that person, anything happened to that person, that they feel to glorify and they miss that person's presence in their life. And those are the people who will actually adore you whole life. That's why the disciples should cry when Guru disappear, on Prabhupada's disappearance day. So when we don't see Krishna in our life, that he is the closest, is the closest. That is unfortunate. We should cry. We should learn how to cry. We should learn literally. Okay. Then question may arise, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is here. What is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's special gift in this whole discussion of liberation from the material world? Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives that Sri Krishna, Sri Gaur Hari is a non-different from his tattva, absolute nature. And there is a one verse, if you want to know, this is 113. Jad Advaitam Brahma Upanishadi Tadupasya Tanuva, three things. Three things when somebody has incomplete. All six opulences is only one aspect of three. You follow? Six opulences, we should just three things in origin, source, and complete. He is the Supreme Bhagavan. Who is that? Jat Advaita Brahma Upanishadi Tadupasya Tanubha Ja Atma Antarjami Purusho Sahasangsa Vibhava Sara Ishwarja Purna Bhagavan Ja Sayamayam Na Chaitanya Krishna Jagati Paratat Paramiham. There is no superior truth than this Chaitanya Tattva. What is it? That all pervasive, all existence within Lord Chaitanya's body. This Nirvishesh Brahman is the fundamental base. Brahmanahi Pratishta Aham. Krishna says, I am the base of all existence. Follow? That's Lord Chaitanya. Then Samsa, that his partial expansion is Paramatma. You follow? And the third is that he is the complete with all the six opulences all the time. So there's six opulences, all that Supreme Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came to give us this. When somebody understands Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he will do nothing but enter into devotional school. Now question comes, where are we? First of all, I always say we are product of our decision, not situation. When difficult situation comes in our life that we cannot focus, like we come to temple, we come to class, not to fall asleep. That's not the idea we had. But we see that some or other something forcing me to fall asleep. We didn't come for that, right? But it seems like we are helpless. Krishna noticed that. Krishna noticed that. He says, Nirvinna sarva karmasu, yato saddha matkadasu, nirvinna sarva karmasu, veda dukkhatmakan kaman parityagya api anishara. You feel anishara, helpless. But did you give up my bhakti? Krishna asks. No. Even they go away, after 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, they come back. After one life, they come back. They didn't go for another process. They come back to Krishna consciousness. You follow? So Krishna knows this. So when he says, Tato bhajetam mama prita, for my pleasure, keep on going. Even you fell down, get up and keep going. Difference between devil and saint is both can fall, but don't stay fallen. One who gets up and going is a saint. One is stay fallen is a devil attack. So whatever happened in our life, we should keep on going in spiritual path. Whether we are progressing or not progressing, just keep on going. Take shelter and don't commit offense. You are in the right path. So of course, we cannot check the kind of emotion and the situation induce, but we can check how much we indulge in those emotions. Very interesting. Just as physical wounds take time to heal, is it? But they do heal in due course. So too, do emotional wounds take time to heal, but they need to be allowed to heal. Follow. If we keep dwelling on feelings of resentment and helplessness, we perpetuate and aggravate the emotional wounds, thereby hurting ourselves far more than necessary. So what should we do? We need to take the conscious decision to redirect our thoughts towards something higher in our life. What is it? Krishna consciousness. And Krishna consciousness offers us the highest and most potent object of redirecting our thoughts towards Krishna, the all-attractive Supreme Lord. This is very important. It's very important. So we are going to, because of this, we are ending this chapter today, and tomorrow we'll discuss about free will, the big subject matter of free will. So my request is, you can write it down, Gaurachand Prabhu. Focus, we'll end with this, focus not on life's unfairness, but focus on Krishna's mercifulness. You'll dwell almost every day like, gosh, I wish this would happen. I wish this is not to be done. I wish this, like always you're thinking like something not perfect, one better, or you something better, something. Why? Can you get out of it? No. So focus not on life's unfairness. You remember it? Good. But on Krishna's mercifulness. Life sometimes seems terribly unfair. Is it? For no good reason, people accuse, cheat, or hurt each other. When faced with life's unfairness, we often feel what? Indignation, resentful. I mean, I can relate that. I don't act on it, but I see that. Such negative feelings, though understandable, aren't all beneficial at all. They just, what they do, suffocate, suffocate. Oh, they suffocate and disempower us. So if we want our feelings to work for us instead of against us, we need to shift our focus to Krishna's mercifulness. You follow? So amidst unfairness, how can we even see Krishna's mercifulness? That's the question they say. It's the reality. Okay, this happened to me, Prabhu. How can I see Krishna's merciful? This just happened. My only car got crashed and I don't have insurance. I'm finished. This happened to someone. Well, firstly, by not expecting him or her to intervene and change people's disposition. He has given everyone free will. All of us has free will. And as per their karmic quota, he gives them scope to use their free will as they desire. When some people misuse their free will, we may have to bear the brunt of their misuse, possibly as a reaction to some past misuse of our own free will. How then can we see Krishna's mercifulness? How? Not through material intervention, but through spiritual elevation. You ever push somebody up, you also go up. You ever push somebody down, you also go down. To push somebody down, your head goes down, you're looking, you're pushing down. You pull somebody up, you also go up. Try to help others. It will also help you simultaneously, very mystically. The assurance, light. The assurance implies, so say in these topics, thank you. It's very bright, but that's nice. That Krishna consciousness assures that if we become conscious of him, we will pass over all obstacle by his grace. You know the sloka in Bhagavad Gita? 1858. Everybody should memorize that one. Whenever obstacle comes, mat chitta sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishashi ato chetta hankara nasusrasi vinakshasi. This is one of those verses you should remember, and you will remember what Krishna says. Krishna says, I'm not promising you stormless sea, but I'm promising you unsinkable ship. Means you will not get lost, but you will go through, this person is mean to me. Oh, this has happened to me. But if you depend on Krishna, you will go on. And at the end of your life, you will be seeing the other side of the ocean. This is Machitta Sarva Durgani. Sarva Durgani means all. Sarva means all. Durgani, all difficulties you will pass over. So we'll pass over all obstacles by his grace. This assurance implies that Krishna's grace manifests not just through the elimination of obstacle, but also through the elevation of our consciousness above those obstacles. In fact, obstacles are what frequently impels us to raise our consciousness toward Krishna. I saw that in my life. When little something happened, what do? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Having a good time, oh, what else is going? Not Hare Krishna coming out. I'm not saying that all the time bad should happen, but it helps. When we practice Krishna consciousness intensely, becomes absorbed in Krishna, we experience sublime relief even amidst obstacles. That I did. Even recently I saw that. Thus, we gain greater realization of Krishna's sheltering potency and become more convinced to intensify our Krishna conscious practice. Additionally, life's unfair phase will pass in due course, as do all things in the material life pass. During these phases, instead of resenting them, if we are re-envision them as impetus for focusing on Krishna, they will leave us with the eternal gain of a more realized and intensified devotion. In this world, there are three types of people. One types of people, they always lament what they didn't have, they want to have. Then they will be able to do what they want to do, then they will be happy. Then there's another group, they think, if I'm allowed to do what I want to do, then I'll have what I want to have. Or maybe you thinking in yourself like this, then I'll be happy. Happy is like a lust. I want to have this, I want to have a paid vacation, I want to have $1 million house, I want to have, or at least a good house, not $1 million. A good car, good wife, good husband, this is, having list. When I have all this list, I'll do what I want to do. Go vacation. And why you want to have and do? Oh, I'll be happy. Oh, happy is at the end list. But what I'm trying to say now, as a devotee, be happy now. Then whatever you have or whatever you do is all expansion of happiness. That is the difference between karmis and us. You follow? In the beginning of Krishna consciousness, it is not sense gratification happiness. It is the austerity happiness. Austerity happiness, what they call in English. Santusta jeno keno bhav. Satisfaction. Santusta. Your friend Santusta. Ask him his name, meaning. Means satisfaction. Krishna says, discipline your senses. Somehow or other, practice Krishna consciousness and enjoy by being satisfied. You know, satisfied? I don't need. I can live without it. If you practice, you will come to that point. You follow? That is the first installment. First installment is not like a Haribol, I'm like a rolling on the ground or something, ecstasy, cannot control. No. First installment is the austerity. Austerity of the mind. Austerity of the mind is what? What is the austerity of the mind? Mana Prasadat Bhagavad Gita. You have it? Bhagavad Gita 17:15, 17:16. Mana Prasadat Sammatam Maunam Atma Vinigraha. Mana Prasadat. Satisfaction of the mind, Prabhupada writes. What? That you're going to Mangalarti, you're chanting every day, you are not eating anything without offering, like this. These are consciously doing austerity. This is called austerity. Austerity means you are consciously choosing. And you have to do constantly this. It's not going to happen automatically. Sense gratification is automatically. Because this body is made for that, default. But Krishna consciousness is voluntary. So I'll end here. If somebody has a question, comments, reflection, anything.
But later but
Hare Krishna.
we feel that more happy on the Lord of Sridhar. So what is that?
Because we come from a sense gratification life, for million life. So when we are voluntarily choosing to do the observation of Ekadashi, then there is required, the senses are not happy. But conscious being is happy that I want to do it. I'm going to do it. It's
Hare
purifying our
Krishna,
existence.
excuse me. We could not hear the question.
Haribol Nishinga.
Haribol, we
Nice
could
to
not hear
hear
the
you.
original question.
Okay,
So
can you
we
say it
just heard
loudly?
you start answering.
His question is, then when he does Ekadashi, he's not too excited about it, but he's consciously still doing it. But on the next day, when there's a nice sumptuous feast, breaking Ekadashi, and we do in Shakshi Gopal Prabhu's house, the families last few years now, they're making for us next day. It's very exciting. Why is that? Because we identify body as the self. And body did not get enough sense gratification on Ekadashi day. Now body is seeing that, okay, today is a big feast, body is like a joyful. But the soul is joyful yesterday on that fasting, but when it relates to body, then there is a bridge between constitutional to conditional. That's called cognitional. Cognitional means consciously aware on that decision. I choose. By the way, Nishinga he does good Ekadashi. He's always doing Ekadashi. Such a nice boy. On Ekadashi is a voluntarily you choosing, then it purifies the subtle body we cannot see. Only when we leave this world, you see you don't have any material things because subtle body is purified. You did so many Ekadashi, so many purifying, subtle body is purified. You will be like, wow, the airplane just came from Vaikuntha to pick me up because I was doing so many Ekadashi. That time, the sense gratification, even if there is a big feast and other, will not attract you because physical body is gone. That time, subtle body is purified. You'll be so thrilled, so happy. It gives you answer like this. Very good. Any other question on the Facebook? Okay. Read it loud.
Gopi Jana Vallabha.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Priya. Yes.
She said, Chaitanya Dasi was Srila Prabhupada's disciple who appeared to Prabhupada.
Yes, Chaitanya Dasi. Thank you, Mother Chaitanya Dasi. She used to come. She's such a lovely mother. She passed away. I remember her face. I'm sorry. I hope you forgive me. I didn't mean to forget your name. She was very nice to us. Always used to come to Mother Melba's classes.
He also said that it was a nice way to perceive criticism as a blessing.
Yes. If you can take it, and if you cannot take it, do not examine, do not judge unless senior devotee is involved. Go to a senior devotee and ask that person to help you to overcome that just happened. Somebody yelled to you or somebody did something horrible things or something that bothers you. And I mentioned these 3 ways you can examine any offensive things. 3 ways. And it will not create offense for you. Because otherwise, if you dwell into it, you will commit offense. But 3 reasons you can avoid. One reason is, if you want to establish a fear amongst the student that how dangerous this offensive nature, it can fully take you to hellish condition. So you can examine, see what happened to her or him like this, just to create a fear that they should be careful. That's good. Second is that if it evokes you, if it evokes you to go to God, if it evokes you, oh my Lord, this happened to this devotee, it can happen to me, please protect me, please, I'm so scared, then it is okay. You can tell the God, you can examine the whole thing. This person did this is scary, I don't like it, I'm so scared, my Lord, please protect me. So you're talking about the offensive things, but it will not be affected as an offense. It will purify. And the third one is, if you have a genuine feeling to protect that person, whoever committed offense, so no, this is too much, I cannot tolerate it. That devotee will suffer, I cannot, no, I have to go and talk to that person. Because you have so much affection for that person, you will go talk to that person how to get out of that offense. So with this, for these 3 reasons, there is no offense. You can examine, and if you don't have one of these 3, you have to block yourself. But how are you going to block with the mind, in the mind? If you don't have ability, go to advanced devotee. They can help. On your own, don't trust. Mother Koiki did the same thing. She heard all the criticism of Dasharat, Ram, through mantra. Did she go to anybody for advice? No. She was very wise. She was very intelligent, wise Mother Koiki. She was very kind. All these 3 things she changed. Her intelligence is lost after hearing the offensive things from mantra. And her kindness became harsh. She was so mean to her husband. You promised 3 gifts, 3 boon, you have to give me now. And she even told to Ram, now time go. He gave you order to go to forest. How can kind person become cruel? How can wise person become fools? Because of offense. Sometimes we think like, oh my God, I don't have intelligence. What's going on in my life? It's so hard. Well, it's offense. And the first offense, what is the root of all offense? Huh? No. What is that ignorance? Not serving Krishna. This is the first root of all offense. Vaishnava Aparad came after. Vaishnava Aparad is deadly, Vaishnava offense, but it came only after. So if we have a focus on serving Krishna and then pray and not commit offense to other Vaishnava, then Krishna within you, heart, he will charm and protect. Any other from Facebook? No. Any other from the Zoom Audience, Prabhus, mothers.
Is that okay or not?
If somebody's,
If somebody has done some offense towards you and then you're just trying to forget it, maybe okay, I'll forget it after a few days or few months or something. Then is that okay or it's not okay?
no, but you have to explain why you're forgetting.
Because you think that okay, that's probably he is not understanding.
Due to ignorance.
Yeah, probably.
Then is consciously you give me. Yes. That is the nature of Vaishnava. Gopal Chakravarti committed offense to Haridas Thakur and he was so proud, he says, because he had I guess, sharp nose or something. He says, if you cannot prove it in 3 days that Namabhas will give liberation, then I'll cut your nose off. He told this to Haridas Thakur, And everybody got upset. Everybody like immediately got up from the audience. They started saying this to Gopal Chakravarti. How dare you think like this? This is Haridas Thakur, born in a Muslim, but he is a great Maha Bhagavat Bhakta. But somehow or other he did not. He thought, they think like this. Sometimes people think like this. We think like this. They don't understand the spiritual science. So then what happened? Second day he got leprosy. On the third day his nose fell off. He wanted to cut Haridas Thakur's nose, and his own nose fell off. The degree of the offense. When Haridas Thakur heard it, he felt so bad. He forgave him immediately. He knows that due to. So he says, Bhakta Sabhav Aggodos Khama Kare. Krishna Sabhav Bhakta Ninda Sohite Na Pare. Beautiful verse in Chaitanya Chaitanya. Bhakta Sabhav, the nature of Bhakta. Agga means ignorance. Dos means fault. Khama Kare means he forgive the innocent. But Krishna Sabhav Bhakta Ninda Sohite Na Pare. Krishna does not forgive. Now you may say, how can Krishna not forgive? Because Krishna wants to purify their heart and take them back home, back to God through the devotee. And if you are against the devotee, then where is the chance for you to ever come back to your original, to be happy? You follow? So Krishna is also legitimate. Krishna is not a cruel God. He's the most compassionate God. But he also sees, like for an example, I give you an example. I won't say the name. There's one mother told me that she had a son who had a high fever. It's about maybe 6-7 years back. I used to do home program in her house. Now you know. Okay, never mind. That's anyway. So the child is so high fever. She's giving medicine. He said, "Okay, leave it here. I'm so I can't take it now. Just leave it here." So then one day, next day she comes. His fever is going, even not coming down. It's like staying up. Like she saw all those pills that she gave. It's all on the toilet. It's floating. It didn't fall down. What he did, he never took it. Put it in the toilet and tried to flush it out. But somehow those capsules never went under. And she got so angry. Now she's so angry. Why? He will suffer more that he cannot see. She can see that he will suffer more, but he cannot see, even though he's suffering. You follow? So the conditioned soul, they are already fallen, suffering, but the devotee is coming to rescue him and they're criticizing devotee. So why should Krishna tolerate? Because Krishna is a loving mother. He wants all the soul to come back. But if you are against the medicine, then how are you going to get cured? So something like that, I can relate. All right. Gopalanade Prabhu, there is no other question. Oh, there is one more? Okay. On the Facebook. Go ahead.
So sometimes one did, at least seemingly, have experience of experiencing mercifulness, of getting one's consciousness level improved, while persisting in strict sadhana, austerities of fasting, additional japa, etc. while experiencing purification of material difficulties. But the times have come when one feels as if we got PhD levels of testing, while one is not even close on a PhD level of testing difficulty. And despite staying in the process, there's no perceived, at least, spiritual advancement, but just pain. So,
Well, in that case, I would suggest that devotee, whoever he is or she is,
Jagannath
Jagannath Satta Prabhu.
No, Dragan.
Okay.
Dragan.
Dragan. Okay. Prabhu, please read Srimad Bhagavatam 8.3.17. There's a beautiful, sweet verse. Explain this. Madrika prapanna pasupasa vimokshanaya muktaya bhuri karunaya namo lalaya. That Krishna is never lazy in regards to your deliverance. The God is such a merciful, compassionate that he never forget. He is noticing, he is within your heart, watching. This is such a deep disease condition. He is watching whether you turning towards him for the help. Please turn towards Krishna for help. Cry for that help. All of a sudden, mystically, it will disappear. I have experience in my own life. Krishna is aware of your suffering. Doesn't matter how serious, how big the suffering. Bhuri Karunaya, Namo Lalaya. His mercy, Bhuri, like 1,000,000 times more than your pain. So I beg you, do not focus how big the pain you have. Focus how great he is. Then your pain will become nothing. Because his merciful nature, his greatness is far superior, greater than our so-called PhD pain. You follow? So the focus should be on Bhagavatam 8.3.17, that Bhuri Karunaya Namo Lalaya. He is waiting for you to just turn little more. Seems like it's not working. Turn more. He wants you to really come closer. That one little, once a person said that I went to this Alacha fitness center and I was talking to one guy because I was thinking of doing something, because I'm getting little, maybe chubby or something. Not chubby, but gaining a little weight. And I was asking him his career. It was very interesting. He says that you may be lifting 20 pounds every day. Just imagine, 20, lifting 20. Okay, one day he said, how about 25? Oh no, I can't do it. All right, let's say 20 for 1 second, 1 minute. Okay. How about 30? Oh no way. No, just try. And you try and you try. Barely you made it for 2 seconds and then put it back. That one push is built within you a strong force that whatever you did last 2 years, this 5 minutes is more higher than last 2 years training. It's the same concept. When our pain is so intensified that you can't take it anymore, where are you going to go? Krishna wants you to come closer to him. He's waiting. That's why it's created that way. And one thing for sure, there's a beautiful famous verse that Krishna will never, God will never give you enough pain that you cannot handle. He will never give you more pain that you can handle or you cannot handle. There is never any history of Vaishnava literature. But it appears, but believe me, all the pain, when I was going through pain many years back during my divorce and all this, mental disturbance so much, I thought nobody understands in this world how horrible, painful I am. But then everything is over. I'm laughing at it. It's like a movie I was watching my life movie. You know, now I think it's like a movie. Then I interviewed many other devotees of their life. Oh my God, everybody has the same problem. They think nobody understands how terrible that he or she is experiencing. Why individual? Because Krishna is individual. He wants you to give attention and come too close to him to relieve forever from that pain ever. But it's difficult because we are not used to like this. We depend on the external. But go within, talk to Krishna. If it's really pain, you already got a support. What? When there's a pain, you don't have to think of prayers, how intense it is. Automatically it goes. But when you have a good time, you try to pray intensely. When you have a pain, yes, my Lord, I'm feeling the pain. I'm laughing now, it's not. But when you are in pain, it's easy. It's easy to come closer. And all the suffering has only one purpose. All the suffering has only one purpose, not two or three. Yes. The pain has a two function, we should remember. Pain that changes you. You know, many pain changes many millions of people. Pain changed me. And pain just you cannot tolerate it. There's only two kinds of pain. Pain just that changes you, adapt it, welcome it. I remember somebody put a scandal, something about me. And I went to one senior Mataji. She is a GBC's wife, or anyway. She's such a nice, sweet mother. She said, just tolerate Pran Govinda Prabhu, just tolerate. I know that devotee is crazy, but it's okay, tolerate, no need to confront. And I did, but it was not good. It was not easy. It was very heartening. It was very difficult. But at the end, journey was wonderful. Now I look at back, I say, wow, that gave me a strength that Krishna wants you to like build in that capacity where you are stable in any situation. Prabhupada went how much struggle? Was Prabhupada pure devotee or not before? Yes. But why then he went through so much struggle? Krishna is making him such a strong. He didn't have money. He had only typewriter. Even that stolen. Like, I mean, bad luck has how many bad luck? If you think like he doesn't have money, only typewriter, even people steal the typewriter. So Krishna is testing. And Prabhupada told this to Giriraj Maharaj. Krishna is testing, always in testing. When Krishna stopped testing? Never. Prabhupada said that Krishna was testing him while taking everything away. Now Krishna is testing him by giving so many things. So Krishna is always testing. Gaur Pramanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Vancha Kalpataruvesya, Kripa Sindhu Vacha, Patitanam Pavane, Bho Vaishnave, Bho Namo Namo Vrindaya, Tulsi Devaya.